Hey friends, this is Nancy from Rowhouse Greetings. I'm excited to be back with a new project featuring one of the stamps from Colorado Craft Company's latest release. Today I'll be showcasing the Witch's Potion stamp set from the Whimsy World line. In this video, there's a lot happening, from coloring the main image to assembling the final card. I'll guide you step by step through stamping the image, coloring it with Copic markers, and putting together the completed card design. I'll provide a full list of supplies used in this project in the description below. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. To begin, I cut a piece of Spectrum Noir's Ultra Smooth cardstock to 3 1/4 inches by 4 1/2 inches, using one of the dies in the A2 Layering Dies set by Waffle. The image was stamped with Memento ink in Tuxedo black. This particular cardstock is suitable for alcohol markers. While my preferred choice is Expressive Blending card, I sometimes opt for Spectrum Noir or Strathmore Bristol Smooth when I want a brighter white base. The coloring process is well detailed in the video, but if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. The footage is slightly sped up, and I've edited out the pauses so you won't have to watch while I rummage through my markers. For this card, I envisioned a vibrant violet for the witch's hat and cloak. My secret to achieving this bold color was using a fluorescent Copic marker, which really made the clothing stand out. If you don't own FV2, you can use another violet marker to finish the blend, but I was pleased with how this combination turned out. Generally, I don't recommend purchasing the fluorescent markers unless you have a specific use for them, but I found the blue and violet shades handy for other projects as well. At this stage, I'll wrap up the coloring of the stamped image, and once the coloring is complete, I'll guide you through the steps to put the finished card together. I stamped the image on a piece of masking magic. After stamping, I carefully cut out the image by hand. Fussy cutting is not my strongest skill, but it's an essential part of the process. To save time, I completed this step off camera. Next, I carefully applied the hand-cut mask over the stamped image to protect the colored areas during the next steps. This masking technique ensures the vivid colors of the witch's hat and cloak remain untouched while I work on the background. To add definition and ground the image, I place a piece of low-tack tape across the card front. This tape creates a crisp, sharp line as I blended distressed ink and black soot at the base of the image. The sharp contrast provided by the black soot ink helped to anchor the design. For the remainder of the background, I selected the Cloud stencil from Newton's Nook. Using this stencil, I blended distress inks in Spiced Marmalade and Wild Honey to build up a vibrant, glowing sky behind the main image. There are a few spots that were left exposed by the masking, so I used my Copic markers in a color that matched the background in order to fill in those white gaps so that they were less noticeable. To streamline the video, I prepared several components of the card front off camera. The dimensions for each layer are displayed on screen and are also provided in the description below for reference. I used the A2 layering die set by Waffle to create two frames, a white frame and a gray frame. This set includes dies that match all the measurements, so for best results, I recommend using the dies rather than attempting to cut the frames by hand. It's important to center the inner cut of the white frame as accurately as possible, as this frame will be prominent in the final design. The gray frame, which serves as a mat, is a bit more flexible, so precise centering is less critical. I glued the frames together, making sure that the inner mat was even. Then I glued the image layer into place to complete the frame. For the background, I glued the green cardstock and striped design paper together, leaving equal space above and below the design paper. I carefully adhered the frame to the front of the card. Using a T-square, I was able to position the frame precisely and make sure it was perfectly straight against the background. Once I was satisfied with the placement, I secured the frame in place, completing this layer of the design. Off camera, I stamped the sentiment and bat images that are included in the stamp set. For this step, I used VersaFine ink in Nocturne, which provided a crisp and bold impression for both. Off camera, I glued the card front to a card base. The base was cut to 4 1/4 by 11 inches and scored at 5 1/2 inches, creating a classic top folding card. And with these final steps, the card is now complete. I hope you enjoyed following along with today's project. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to sharing more creative ideas with you next time.